Holy Family 30, Brush 25 as we head to the second half. And the third quarter lineup for Holy Family will consist of Tanner Sturr, Connor Clay, along with David Summers, Kyle Willis, and A.J. Middleton. The Bee Diggers with Gregory Mayers, Randy Baker, Jeffrey Dunker, Colby Needens, and Mitch Tormolin. And the Bee Diggers will have the basketball first. Mayers to throw it in the backcourt to Needens. Holy Family had those many runs which got them the lead. A 6-0 run and then a 7-0 run, or 5-0 run, that is. Tormolin with the basketball. Near the top, harassed over there by Sturr, and then throws it away, intended for Baker. And the Bee Diggers commit their 12th turnover of the game.
And I know when Sturr's in the ball game, and so is Mitch, his job is to stay on Mitch and cause as much trouble as he can for him.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Greg Mullen is there. Let Greg Mullen work with you to get the discounts you desire and the coverage you need. State Farm agent Greg Mullen. Middleton's three-pointer, no good. Rebound to Willis in the lane, double team, and then turns, shoots, and scores. Looked like the Bee Diggers had him defended, but then all of a sudden he found a little seam. And now Holy Family leads by 7, 32-25. Mayers bodied up by Clay, dribbling by him. Back out to Tormolin. Tormolin with the basketball. Is going to hand it off to Dunker, dribbling to his left. Double team. Jump pass to Baker. Straight away 17-footer is well short. Rebound controlled by Connor Clay. And Dunker in the backcourt nearly committed a foul but backs off. And here come the Tigers. They could take a 10-point lead with a three-pointer, but they're not an outside shooting team based on what we've seen so far. Middleton on the outside right to Clay. Back out to Summers. Summers dribbling to his left. Loosely guarded over there by Needens, looking down low. Summers still looking near that right corner for Willis. Dribbles right of the lane, in, spins, turns, shoots, banks, misses. The rebound to Sturr. He puts it up and in. And right now, Holy Family's got an edge on the boards.
With two 6'4" guys, you know their job is to get the ball down low to them, and there's always going to be one of them there to rebound.
Well, I think the one thing, if you're Brush, let them hit the outside shot then. Don't allow those little two-footers. Holy Family now leads 34-25. 6:20 to go in the third. Tormolin on the outside right, cross-court to Needens. The three is up and good. That's a big three to the left of the Bee Digger bench by Colby Needens. He's got 6. All of a sudden, the 9-point lead is down to 6 for Holy Family. 34-28, approaching the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Willis near that left corner, picks up the dribble, still looking. Near the top to Summers. Summers dribbling to his right, swings it over to Middleton, guarded over there by Dunker. Back on the outside left to Clay. Clay into the lane, right of the lane, lost control, gets it over to Willis. Willis had Tormolin in the air, then knocked away by Dunker. Bee Diggers with a 2-on-2. Dunker spins in the lane, puts it up off the glass, and he missed an easy one. The tip is up and in by Needens. Wow, what a play by Needens. And now the Bee Diggers on a mini 5-0 run.
Great follow-through and awareness by Colby Needens.
With a basketball, a Sturr in the lane in the right corner. Taken over there by Summers, steps to his left. He's cut off by Baker, playing some tight defense. Right corner for Sturr. Sturr back out to Clay, in between two, lost the basketball, and it's intercepted by Dunker. 7 turnover for Holy Family. Dunker to Baker, right baseline jumper, no good. And the ball is tipped around, and it's knocked out of bounds. I think it was off of Dunker, it is. Holy Family basketball, but the Bee Diggers did a nice job of running, and Baker had the wide open look, and he just missed it.
Randy, I think, got a little too excited there. If he'd just settled down a bit and set his feet, I think he'd have been more successful.
Welcome home to your hometown grocery store featuring Morgan County's largest variety, the Brush Grocery Carts. And Sturr in the lane with a basketball, cut off, feeds it over to Willis. Little 8-footers around and good. Oh, boy, what a shooter's bounce that was. That looked like it was way off. Willis now has 12 in the game. Holy Family 36, Brush 30. Straight away, Mayers with the basketball. Baseball pass, right corner. Baker penetrates, dribble the ball off his foot, out of bounds, and that's what you were talking about 1 minute ago. You got to settle down, not get overly aggressive, because the Bee Diggers don't want this game to get away from them with 4:47 to go in the third, trailing by 6. Your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard is Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. Intercepted by Needens in the front court. Tormolin to Needens, and then the ball is thrown away by Dunker. Bryce had intercepted, and Colby's out there. And Brush now commits their 14th turnover, their third of the quarter.
And once again, just getting too excited, not being aware of where your guys are on the court and getting the ball to them.
Middleton in the backcourt with the Bee Diggers applying pressure. Over to Springer. They break the press in the front court. Holweedle, jump pass to Willis, and he's fouled by Bryce Needens as he went up for the shot. And Needens has committed his first foul, and to the line is Kyle Willis. Talk about consistency. Willis has scored 12 points in the game, 4 in each quarter so far.
Great consistency right there. That's what you look for. That's one of the big guys in their team. And the thing about him is, they're letting him. If they let him get inside, like we talked about earlier, he's going to be successful on the basket.
Holy Family now leads by 7. Second free throw in the air, and that's off the back of the rim. And there's a tie-up for the ball. The ball is still loose. There's about 5 bodies on the floor. And the possession arrow, though, is staying with Holy Family, so that miss actually benefited the Tigers.
Lots of hustle on the part of the Beat Diggers, and you gotta like that. At least they know that they're going after trying to get the ball any chance they get.
Summers to trigger it in for Holy Family. On the outside right, Middleton wide open 3, but that's well off to the left. And Mitch Tormolen grabs the two-handed rebound. That's his third board. Outlet to Mayers. Mayers to Colby Needens. He'll take the 3, and that is short. Jaron Springer boxes out for the Holy Family rebound. Outlets it to Holweedle. In the front court, left baseline to Willis. Penetrates left baseline, cut off by Mayers, then fades and misses. Throws up an air ball. Colby Needens with a basketball. Needens bounce pass to Bryce Needens in the front court. Right corner, Gregory Mayers fakes the 3, guarded by Holweedle. Still looking. Kicks it back out. No Beat Diggers were there. Bryce Needens tries to save it in. Does in the front court to Colby. Over to Jeffrey Dunker. Dunker back out to Bryce Needens. Left of the lane, in the lane. Scoops up a wild shot and misses. And the rebound is controlled by Summers of Holy Family. No flow right now to the Beat Digger offense. With the basketball is Summers. 3:44 to go, third quarter. Holy Family 37, Brush 30. Near the timeline is Springer. On the outside left is Holweedle. At the top to Willis. Near that right baseline to Springer. Back out to Summers. Left wing Holweedle fakes a 3 against Bryce Needens. In the corner for Middleton. Middleton to his right with the basketball. Guarded by Needens. Retreats towards the timeline. Swings it right side to Springer. Guarded by Colby Needens. At the top for Willis in the lane. Pulls up from 12. Yes, for Kyle Willis. He's got 7 in the quarter, 15 in the game, and Holy Family's got their biggest lead, 39-30, with 3:06 to go in the third. Mayers with the basketball. The Beat Diggers have been held to just 5 points in the quarter, and Dunker is fouled as he misses. He went to the basket. He'll shoot 2. Middleton commits his second foul. That's what the Beat Diggers need. I mean, now they're taking just their 4th and 5th free throws of the game.
Yeah, they've got to take advantage. They've got to they've got to drive to the basket and force them to get some fouls, and hopefully they can come and get on that free throw line and be successful. On the part of Holy Family, when Willis gets inside the paint over there, he's almost guaranteed a shot. I mean, a 6'4" frame, long arm span. It's not very difficult for him to get the ball in the basket.
Ron, you might as well foul him. You have fouls to use up. He's only 1 out of 4 for the free throw line. Second free throw for Dunker is good. Dunker's got 6 in the game. The Beat Diggers are still within striking distance, only down by 7 with 2:58 to go. Plenty of pressure applied by Dunker. Granberg in the backcourt, into the front court now to Holweedle. Left baseline for Stur. Lost the basketball, got it back, and then his pass is knocked out of bounds by Bryce Needens, who nearly had the interception. And to throw it in is going to be Granberg over there for Holy Family to the left of the basket. Looking for Clay, can't find him. Right baseline to Stur. Stur against Tormolen in the lane, tries to muscle his way, spins over to Granberg, scoops and scores. Boy, Granberg again doesn't play much, but when he's in there, he looks good.
Well, they cut off Stur, and Stur just bounced it back out to Granberg. He put it in the basket. He was wide open.
The one-handed shot straight away is missed by Bryce Needens. The rebound taken away by Jaron Springer. On the outlet to Clay. Holy Family can go up by double digits. Here is Springer, 15-footer, good. Springer with his first bucket of the game. Timeout, Brush. 2:22 to go, third quarter. Holy Family 43, Brush 32. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Ron Albo back for the Digger Dome and Brush, where the Beat Diggers have been outscored in the quarter 13-7. Now a 5-point deficit is up to 11. Beat Diggers have the basketball. It's Austin Garcia out there along with Kyle Rosenbrock, Colby Needens, Randy Baker, and Jeffrey Dunker. Not a lot of size for the Beat Diggers. They're going to have to shoot well. Rosenbrock with the basketball on the outside right against Tanner Stur. And there's the long 3 up, and that's missed off the back of the rim by Garcia. It hits the top of the backboard. Holy Family basketball. They've got Clay, Stur, Holweedle, Granberg, and Jaron Springer as the Tigers are 2 minutes and 4 seconds away from taking their lead into the fourth quarter. 43-32. Beat Diggers applying pressure in the backcourt. Granberg with a basketball, jump pass at the timeline to Clay, crosses the timeline on the outside right, behind his back, over to Granberg. Granberg outside left to Springer. Over to Clay. He gets a man in the air, pulls up from 12, misses, and then the tie-up for the rebound between Rosenbrock of Brush and Springer of Holy Family. The possession arrow goes to the Bee-Diggers. No matter what your loan needs, stop by High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins. Also inquire about checking and savings accounts as well as CDs at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. Garcia to throw it in. Over to Albo. Back to Garcia. Let's see, the Bee-Diggers can at least make this a single-digit game, get some momentum going into the fourth. Hands it off to Baker. Baker in the lane, gets a man in the air, and then Baker's going to have to back it out, but then he threw it away. He thought Needens was cutting towards the right. Needens stayed put. And, Ron, that play is a perfect illustration that this offense is out of sync.
Yeah, they have. I don't know what's happened this third quarter. They just have not been in sync since coming out after the break, and they've got to find a way to get back in the rhythm again.
They might have to do it with defense at this point. Granberg gets a pick at the top. On the outside right, faking his Clay, then he traveled. Turnover number 9 for Holy Family. But that's the thing. It's hard to do with defense because Holy Family doesn't commit too many turnovers.
Nope, they don't. And the little defensive errors, jumping up, leaving your feet, you shouldn't do that type of stuff. You got to keep your feet on the ground. That's when bad things happen.
Oh, boy, Garcia got stripped by Springer with Baker to beat, and then Baker blocks it out of bounds.
Good recovery by Randy Baker. That's a way to get his hand on the ball. It was clean, no foul there. Now Holy Family's got the ball underneath the basket.
Granberg to throw it in. 63 seconds to go, third quarter. Lobs it down low for Geracius. Back out to Clay. In the right corner to Granberg. Bounce pass to Geracius. Double team. Over to Holweedle. Holweedle in the lane, and there is a foul on the floor. And the foul, I believe, was on Albo. That'll be his first. 54.7 seconds to go in the third. And again, Clay to throw it in. Clay to Holweedle. At the top on the outside right with the basketball is Clay. Now to Granberg, and Holy Family is just going to slow down offensively with 43 ticks remaining of 43-32 in the third. Granberg looking, still looking. Bounce pass inside. He forced it. Intercepted by Rosenbrock. Here come the Bee-Diggers. Bounce pass to Baker, left baseline. Baker double teams. Got to get rid of the basketball, but he was fouled prior to that. That's a rare Holy Family foul. And it looked like Connor Clay committed it. It's going to be his second. That's Holy Family's fifth foul of the entire game. I say rare Holy Family foul. The Bee-Diggers have only committed 3 in the game.
Yes, and the thing about that situation, that possession, Holy Family had 5 of their guys here on Randy Baker, and the Bee-Diggers were in the backcourt trying to get down the court, and so it's a good thing that happened. He had nowhere to go with the ball.
Colby Needens to trigger it in. Yeah, you can afford to do that if you're Holy Family. Just collapse on one man if the rest of the offense hasn't caught up, and that's why you're right. The Bee-Diggers benefited from that one, because if not, Baker really had no options other than maybe to call a timeout to retain possession of the basketball. Needens to the right of the basket to throw it in. Colby Needens looking down low, lobs it on the outside left to Rosenbrock. Near the top to Garcia, on the outside right to Albo. Albo right corner to Baker. He'll take the 3 off the front of the rim. The rebound on one bounce to Kyle Willis, his 4th rebound. Holy Family's in firm control. This will be the final shot for Holy Family in the third quarter, up by 11. 11 seconds to go for the Tigers. Holweedle with the basketball, guarded by Albo with 6. Gets a pick, dribbles to his right with 5. Holweedle in the right corner to Summers. Bounce pass down low, and then Geracius is fouled by Baker. Looked pretty clean. With 1 second to go in the third, Baker commits his first foul. Geracius to the line. But, I mean, let's face it, the guy was wide open.
Wide open, and what the Bee-Diggers have got to do is they've got to keep Holy Family out of the paint. They force them to shoot those 3-pointers, but do not let them cut and go to the basket like that, because that's where the big points come in.
Yeah, Baker with a second foul. Correction there, the free throw is good. Again, only Brush's 5th foul of the game. I've never seen a game where you played 3 quarters in men's or boys basketball, only 10 fouls combined through 3 quarters, and then the inbounds pass is thrown away, and it was untouched, which means that Holy Family will get the ball underneath the basket. Oh, boy. I mean, that right there is the exclamation point behind what's happened tonight.
Turnovers, if you have to put any kind of title in this game, it's called turnovers, and that's what's killed them.
17 of them. Well, you look at ratios, 32 points, 17 turnovers, and that's certainly not Brush basketball by any means.
No, and referees are having a little conference out there trying to figure out where they're going to.
Well,
it was touched, though. He's going to take it out on the sideline over there.
Well, if it was touched, some time should have expired because there was 1 second left. Now there's half a second left, 0.5 of a second off the clock.
Yeah, it should have been time expired.
Well, and if the ball was touched inbounds, which I thought it was before it went out of bounds, I mean, I can't believe that didn't take an entire second. But either way, Summers to throw it in. He'll throw it in towards the right corner. Granberg's three. That shouldn't count anyway because there were 0.5 of a second to go, and he actually held the ball when he caught it and then threw it up there, and that's the end of the third quarter. With a score, Holy Family 45, Brush 32. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Well, there's no doubt the Beet Digger offense has regressed throughout the first three quarters. 15 points, 10 points, and only 7 points in the third quarter. Outscored 15-7. John Beltran with Ron Albo from the Digger Dome. Holy Family leads 45-32. It'll be Mitch Tormolin, Bryce Needens, Jeffrey Dunker, Gregory Mayers, and Colby Needens for Brush. Kyle Willis, Tanner Sturr, David Summers, Connor Clay, and A.J. Middleton for Holy Family. And the officials are out there discussing something before this fourth period starts, perhaps to see who's got the basketball first. But I don't know why that should be a point of discussion here after a 1-minute timeout. So maybe it's something else that we have no idea about. One thing that you and I were talking about before we went back on air is that both teams have committed 5 fouls, but the Beet Diggers might have to prove to be even a little bit more physical and get Holy Family off their game, because obviously Holy Family has executed their game plan and the Beet Diggers haven't.
Yeah, they've got to put the pressure on Holy Family when the Beet Diggers score a basket or they get a rebound, they've got to get down court and they've got to pressure. When Holy Family gets the ball, they've got to put pressure on them and force them to maybe get out of their game plan, maybe throw an errant pass, something like that, but to get a turnover and maybe get some fouls.
And Willis all the way scoops it up and in. He just spun on a Beet Digger and scored. Willis is the story of the game. He's got 17 points. Holy Family leads 47-32. Ron, I still go back to the second quarter. Brush scores along the right baseline. They're down 24-23. Holy Family came back in 5 seconds, scored here. That began what amounted to a run that got them to 30-23. Yeah, and then from there, they've just slowly built the lead.
Yep.
And, I mean, I got to tell you that I'm pretty stunned that this is a 19-point lead on Brush's home floor, because at halftime it was only a 5-point game. And you're right, for some reason there's a lack of recognition as to who's doing what for Holy Family. But we know who's doing what. Kyle Willis and Tanner Sturr, the big 6'4" guys.
And you look at these guys on the court, they're just having a good time. They're out there joking around, laughing. You know, Holy Family's enjoying what they're doing. We're not able to answer the call.
And Rosenbrock's bounce pass is thrown away, intended for Tyler Monday, into the game for the first time. 19 turnovers for Brush, and this Brush team looks like they're playing for the first time in well over 3 weeks, the first time this season, because they're out of sync. But I'll say this, I mean, you got to credit Holy Family. That defense is smothering. I mean, they are smothering Brush. Unfortunately, the Beet Diggers are not matching it defensively. There is Clay all the way, jump pass down low. No, he was fouled. I thought he was trying to get it to Tanner Sturr, but the Beet Diggers have committed the foul. It's Vince Albo. That's going to be his second. And that was on the floor. 15 foul for the Beet Diggers. 6:25 to go. Holy Family leads 51-32. Middleton in the lane. Back out Willis. 16-footer. Yes. Well, you can't stop that. I mean, but you'd rather have Willis beat you from 16 feet than 6 feet away.
That's correct. And, you know, it's just a matter of the Beet Diggers not aware of who's on the court with them. That's just what it's coming down to right now as this game's going on.
Here's Garcia. The runner's up and in, and a defensive foul. That's a block against Holy Family's Connor Clay. Connor Clay has committed his third foul, but the Beet Diggers needed that one. That was a 10-0 run to begin the fourth quarter, and Austin Garcia has just ended that, so he'll go to the line.
And Connor Clay, he's a 5'8" guy, but he's real thick. He's real physical. So for Austin to take him on and put that pressure on him was pretty good.
Free throw is missed. Garcia has the rebound. Jump pass thrown towards Monday on the left baseline. Back out to Baker, stripped away. Baker gets it back into the lane. Jump pass down low. Rosenbrock banks it, scores. That's what the Beat Diggers needed a while ago, but at least they're getting some of that right now.
Now let's see if they put the pressure on with their defense here and cause these guys to get out of control.
Clay bounce pass to Middleton, fakes a three, steps in, left baseline all the way, scoops and misses, and the ball is tipped around into the hands of Rosenbrock, his fourth rebound. Beat Diggers trail 53-36, 5:33 to go from the Digger Dome. The Beat Diggers have scored the last 4 points, but that was after a 10-0 Holy Family run. Albo with the basketball, spinning, looking, had it stripped away, gets it right back. Double team, swings it right side to Monday. Bounce pass, right baseline, Baker, shot is up and in for Randy Baker. Well inside that three-point line. Baker now has 6 in the game, his first points of the half. Brush is now on a 6-0 run, 53-38. And we've got a timeout. Good timeout called by Holy Family. 5:09 to go in the game. Holy Family 53, Brush 38 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Holy Family leads Brush 53-38. 5:09 to go in the game. The Tigers to throw it in. Connor Clay with the basketball out there with Tanner Sturr, A.J. Middleton, Kyle Willis, and David Summers. Tyler Monday in there for Brush along with Vince Albo, Austin Garcia, Randy Baker, and Kyle Rosenbrock. Summers bounce pass on the outside right to Willis, dribbling to his right, back to his left, right of the lane, back out to Clay, fakes the three. Cross-court pass to Summers against Albo. Back out near the timeline to Willis. Looks like Holy Family is going to be very patient on offense. I mean, let's face it. Don't have a shot clock in high school basketball. They don't need the points. They're up by 15, and Sturr is wide open, and he scoops it up and in. Nice pass from Kyle Willis to Tanner Sturr. I think they were just baiting the Beat Diggers until they found that lane, and it was wide open down low.
Yeah, there was nobody in the paint down there at all.
Yeah, Austin Garcia got there, but a little bit tardy. Baker with a bounce pass to Monday. Right corner, Albo, wide open three. Good for Vince Albo. He drills the triple, but the Beat Diggers are down by 14, 55-41 with 4:06 to go. Baker knocks it away in the backcourt over to Willis, and then Willis looked like he was tripped up, no whistle. Albo tips it away. He gets it over to Baker. Then the ball goes through Baker, and it's taken away by Holy Family. Oh, that was a mess on both ends. Here is Willis, who banks and misses. Kyle Rosenbrock wrestles away his fifth rebound. Rosenbrock bounce pass to Albo, 3-on-2. Albo scoops it up and in! Off the glass for Vince Albo. He's got 5 points in less than 20 seconds. Now the Beat Digger deficit is 12, 55-43. They were down by as many as 21. Baker with a steal in the backcourt to Albo, lays it up and in! 7 points for Albo there in less than a minute. Timeout, Holy Family. Wow, with 3:27 to go. We'll keep it right here. This was a 53-32 game. Not too long ago, Ron. All of a sudden, the Beat Diggers are on a 13-2 run.
Yeah, doing a great job, and they're causing pressure to Holy Family, which is what we talked about. They have nothing to lose. They're getting in their face. They're making them throw the ball either the wrong spot or getting in a hurry, or they're just doing exactly what you want to do. There's nothing for them to lose. They don't have to worry about fouls. And, you know, the nice thing about it, they got players in the right spot at the right time.
So let's see if the Beat Diggers can come back even more. I mean, I would have never thought that this quickly they would be to within 10 points because, let's face it, I mean, the last 7 points that Albo scored were within a 1 minute range.
Yeah, and, you know, you just wonder what was it that turned the switch on here? Why didn't this happen a little bit sooner? You just never know, you know, how that is.
Well, and there's still plenty of time. 3:27 to go, but at this point, you're going to have the opportunity fairly soon, especially if you don't force turnovers here, to put Holy Family on the line and make this a free throw shooting contest. The Beat Diggers have committed 5 fouls in the second half. Holy Family has just 3. Beat Diggers will pressure. Summers into Scout Cox. Back to Clay. Over to Summers. The Beat Diggers have won the last 2 meetings, including last year in Broomfield. Albo on Summers. Summers jump pass down low for Sprenger, and he scoops it up and misses, and the ball is tipped up, and Kyle Rosenbrock has it, and then we've got a tie-up with Rosenbrock and Sprenger, and that's going to be Beat Digger basketball.
Boy, Tyler Monday was physical underneath the basket. He was a big part of why that rebound came back to the Brush Beat Diggers.
Well, a three-pointer gets the Beat Diggers to within 7. And they're doing it now with Baker, Rosenbrock, Monday, Albo, and Garcia. Those have been the 5 that have engineered the comeback. Garcia with the basketball, looking, bounce pass to Rosenbrock, back out Albo. Left corner 3 is off to the left. And the rebound's controlled by Connor Clay. Clay of Holy Family with 2:50 to go in the game. Holy Family 55, Brush 45. On the outside right, Summers against Albo, double team, lost the ball, got it back along the right baseline, and then Albo pokes it out of bounds. It'll stay with Holy Family. But the B-Digger defense is tightened up. The problem is, Ron, when you're down this much, you've got to score on virtually every possession.
Yeah, you've got to take advantage of those every time that opportunity comes about.
Summers to Stir. He spins and misses along the left baseline. Rebound to Monday. B-Diggers want to run. Albo to Garcia. No look pass to Baker, and Baker had his foot on the line. Wow, well, that's too bad. That was a good no-look pass, but Baker's foot kept sliding.
And it was a great effort. Just too bad they couldn't have got that in the basket.
And for the B-Diggers, their 21st turnover. Holy Family has 12. And a lot of those turnovers occurred in the opening quarter, 7 of the 21. The jump pass by Springer knocked away by Baker, but Springer has it back on the left wing with the basketball is Cox. Holy Family now resets with 2:12 to go in the game, and the B-Diggers down by 10. In the left corner, Cox back out to Clay. Clay to his right between his legs against Baker. Jump pass to Stir. Stir with a 5-on-4 on the outside right to Springer. Summers is wide open in the right corner. In the lane to Clay. Clay all the way, scoops it up off the glass and in. Nice job by Connor Clay. He's got 6. Holy Family 57, Brush 45. 1:47 to go from Brush. And we've got a B-Digger timeout. And we will keep it right here. For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan, and committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. Well, that's the other thing when you make a comeback in a game, Ron, is that I don't want to say you run out of gas necessarily, because I think the B-Diggers are still playing hard, but it's tough against a good team to generate a 20-2 or 20-3 run, which is what the B-Diggers need. They got a 13-2 run, which is quite impressive, but a run that requires you to outscore the other team by 20 to 22 points is almost impossible.
And I think what Holy Family's thinking is also, too, is that they know they had themselves distanced pretty well, so they kind of let up a little bit. I think if, in this situation, if Holy Family wanted to put the pressure, get their big guys back in, things could be a little bit different because that's just how they played tonight. You know, for the Beat-Diggers, it's a great run for them. It's what they need to do, I think, against a lot of teams. They've got to cause pressure. They've got to take teams out of their rhythm.
So the Beat-Diggers are going to have to hit some threes here to inch at least within single-digit range. And again, this group of 5 has really done it for Brush. Monday, Garcia, Albo, Rosenbrock, and Randy Baker. So they've got a lot off the bench in the second half. Beat-Digger basketball. Garcia. Cross-court pass to Baker. Baker dribbling to his right against Summers, and he's bodied up by Summers. Oh, offensive foul. And that was on Monday, an illegal screen. And that also amounts to a turnover for Brush. Their 22nd for Monday. That is his first personal. Yeah, the Beat-Diggers now might have to resort to fouling, although they'll try to play tight defense before they get to that point. Middleton in the front court, double team. In the right corner to Springer. Springer jump pass to Middleton, fouled by Baker. Baker's committed his 3rd foul. 1.5 minutes to go. And here comes Tormolin, Mares, Bryce Needens, Colby Needens, and Jeffrey Dunker for the Beat-Diggers. 5 for 5. Well, we know one thing about this group coming in for Brush. They are well rested. Actually, that's the 17th foul. So Middleton to the line. 1-1. Middleton tonight has 2 points, both from the line. The free throw is up, yes, for A.J. Middleton. Holy Family's lead is a baker's dozen. 58-45 at 502 Ensign in downtown Fort Morgan. The place to shop for all of your appliance needs is B&B Appliance, a member of the Brand Source Retail Program. Second free throw is missed. Bryce Needens has the rebound. On the outside left, Needens underneath the basket. Cross-court, Maris' shot is up and no good. And the rebound by Bryce Needens backs up, little 15-footer off the bottom of the rim. And then Jeffrey Dunker scores. Off the glass, Dunker now has 8 points in a game. Beat-Diggers will pressure, but they're down by 11. 58-47, 1:06 to go. In the game with the basketball is Summers, spinning on Dunker. And looked like Dunker stripped him away. Then it's stripped away by Mares, but he cannot save it in. Goes out of bounds. Holy Family retains possession. 59 seconds to go in the game. Well, that was close. That could have led to an easy break.
Yeah, that would have.
Or break away. And Middleton with a bounce pass in the backcourt. But prior to that, head coach Vieco takes a timeout for Holy Family.
And he's probably, I would imagine, he's just going to tell them when they've got the ball coming in, just take their time, pass it around. Don't shoot at the ball unless you know you've got a decent shot. I mean, 58 seconds. That's the smartest thing to do at this point. Sorry.
And dribbling can be so overrated in basketball. Yep. You said it right there. Pass it around. Just pass it around, because the bottom line is that once you either hold the basketball or dribble and maybe a double team comes, that's where the turnovers are committed. But if you're a well-oiled machine, which Holy Family has shown throughout the course of this game, passing the ball around shouldn't be an issue, although the Beat Diggers have picked up their defense here in the fourth quarter.
And, they can hope that the only thing the Beat Diggers can hope for is they can get a steal, get down court and score a couple baskets and maybe close the gap a little bit more.
Well, the 13-point lead after 3 quarters went up to 21. Now it's down to 11. Middleton has the basketball in the backcourt. Boy, he nearly traveled. Beat Digger fans looking for a whistle over to Clay. Clay, baseball pass front court to Summers. 48 seconds to go in the game. Summers is bodied up by Colby Needham's got to watch out for an intentional foul. And we do have a foul. And, what Colby Needham's there bordered on an intentional foul and almost a technical there as he poked the ball away after the whistle was blown. The foul was called on Bryce Needham's, though. That's his second. And that's the only thing. You want to commit clean fouls here and not create sloppy habits. At the line, 1-and-1 situation is David Summers. Yes, he makes the free throw. Summers now has 9 in the game. Well, and at this point, when you're playing tight defense and committing fouls and you're down, you don't want the frustration to set in, but that's very natural at this level, Ron. You know that you could have played a better game than the Beat Diggers did, and they're playing their best basketball here in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, they built themselves too big of a hole. Bryce Needham's down low for Tormolin. He banks and scores. Tormolin has scored for the first time since the second quarter. Brush is down 11, 60-49. Summers in the backcourt. Dunker fouls him. Yeah, and those are the fouls that you want if you want to stop the clock. Just a little touch foul, nothing too physical here, as David Summers will go to the line. That should be the 19th foul. It is.
And like we said earlier with at halftime, that with the referees letting them play the game. So, fouls have not been a huge problem here. And, the Beat Diggers definitely have benefited from that.
And Dunker throws it out of bounds, intended for Mares. That was about a 50-foot pass that went about 53. Ron, 7-4, 6-6 is the way the turnovers break down each quarter by the Beat Diggers, and that's not going to cut it. That's pretty obvious as the fouls committed in the backcourt. Tanner Sturr is fouled by Jeffrey Dunker. That'll be a second. And Tanner Sturr to the line. And Sturr, he started off this fourth quarter with 6 points. And now he's got 16 in the game. This will be a double bonus for Holy Family. And the free throw is up and off the back of the rim, no good. And Holy Family, they have missed a bevy of free throws in this game. They've missed only 6, but they haven't converted too many either.
No, that's not their strong point so far. It's been getting the basketball down low and just putting it in the hoop.
Yeah, the Tigers barely over 50%. Second free throw is in. It says 60-49. I thought it was 61. Mares straight away. 3 is good for Gregory Mares. His second 3 of the game. And the scoreboard showing 60-52. And the ball is knocked out of bounds in the back court. Let's see if that is correct on the board. 8, 10, 12, 16. No, that's incorrect. Should be 61 points, not 60.
61, yeah.
They'll have that score incorrect. But the Holy Family, and we'll have it official here because the second free throw was made. Final score, Holy Family 61, Brush 52 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back with Ron Albo at the Digger Dome, where the Holy Family Tigers have defeated the Brush Beat Diggers 61-52. Welcome to the Beat Digger post-game show, brought to you by Buildings by Design. The most important thing to buying a new building or starting a new design build project is picking the right company to build it. For a free bid, call Pat Walter or Travis Lefevre, 970-842-5837. Visit them on the web at buildingsbydesign.com. Holy Family led 16-15 after one, 30-25 at the break. Outscored Brush 15-7 in what proved to be a pivotal third quarter. But then they also scored the first 10 points of the fourth quarter to grab a 21-point lead, even though the Bead Diggers would finish the game by scoring 20 of the final 26 points. But it wasn't enough as Brush lost by 9 as they tried to make up a 21-point deficit. For the visiting Tigers, they were led tonight by Kyle Willis with 19 points. Tanner Sturr had 17, 10 for David Summers, and then 6 for Devlin Granberg. A.J. Middleton had 3, and then 2 points apiece for Connor Clay, Gintus Gerasius, and Jaron Springer. The Bead Diggers, incredibly enough, had 9 players in the scoring column and none in double figures. 8 points apiece for Jeffrey Dunker, Colby Needens, and Vince Albo. 7 for Mitch Tormolen, 6 points for Gregory Maris and Randy Baker. 5 points in the game for Bryce Needens, and then 2 for Austin Garcia, and 2 in the game for Kyle Rosenbrock. Turnover situation, the Bead Diggers had 23 unofficially, Holy Family with 12, and we can stop right there, Ron, because that was one of the major stories of the game, and you said that at halftime, and unfortunately that continued, especially in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was something that they needed to clean up at halftime, and obviously they didn't get a handle on that, and of course it played into Holy Family's hands with the turnovers. They were able to capitalize on that. I don't know the exact number. I'm going to guess about 10 to 12 points they probably scored on those turnovers alone. So that's huge right there. That's 10 to 12 points taken out of their game, where it makes the game a whole lot closer. But the Bead Diggers just had to figure out what they need to do. There was just sloppy play, inconsistent play. I don't know if it was a matter of the combination of team guys that were in there at that time, but they just looked like they were out of sync, and they could never regain that until late in the game. Obviously, at that time, it was probably too late to get a win.
Yeah, and the Bead Diggers did out-rebound Holy Family unofficially 21-18, 6 for Kyle Rosenbrock to lead Brush, and 4 apiece for Tanner Sturr, David Summers, and Kyle Willis for Holy Family. At the free throw line, Holy Family obviously was going to shoot free throws towards the end of the game when the Bead Diggers were committing fouls. They were 9 out of 15, 60%. Bead Diggers 4 out of 6, 67%. Maybe it's a good lesson for Brush that in future games that they be maybe even more aggressive to the basket, because it's tough to win a game when you only shoot 6 free throws.
Yeah, I think that's a great lesson that they can pick out from this game, is that boost up their physical play in the game. The only thing you're going to find out if you boost up your physical play, what are the referees going to do? Are they going to call the fouls? Are they going to let you play basketball? You'll know it, and then you can kind of back up and make the adjustments that you need to. But if you don't ever get out there and see what it's going to be like, you're not going to know what the end result is going to be.
Well, maybe the schedule works out right, Ron, because the Bead Diggers lost their first 2 games of the season. The streak stopped with Fort Morgan. They won 3 in a row. Now they lose, and hopefully the 1-game losing streak can stop with Fort Morgan coming up on Saturday night. And it's a little bit of a pressure game for Brush because they beat them the first time. They are at home, but, the first time maybe most figured that Brush would win the game. It was a pretty competitive game, and the Bead Diggers won by 9. But the second time around, Fort Morgan's going to be hungry, and the Bead Diggers are coming off a loss once again. They are at home, so the intangibles work out for Brush, but this time they are the clear favorites to win the game because of what they did the first time.
Yeah, and I think, with Fort Morgan, Chad Unrein, the team's coached really well. They're going to know that that's going to be revenge, like we said. It always is when Fort Morgan and Brush play each other, no matter what it is. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for them to come in here. But hopefully they've got, a couple days to recoup from practice. They can work on some things that they weren't successful on, that they wanted to put into play. And then maybe come Saturday night when they play here, they'll be a lot more successful. They'll be more physical. They can put more points on the board. And I think the big thing, they got to figure out a way to shut down people's biggest guys in the paint.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Tanner Sturr and Kyle Willis, they combined for 36 of the 61 points. That percentage is way too big. And by the way, the Brush Fort Morgan games will be on Saturday night on B106 and B106.com. The girls game at 6 o'clock, boys game at 7:30. Our next broadcast will be on Friday night in terms of basketball. That'll be at 6 o'clock. The Brush girls will be entertaining Ken Denver. Our next Brush sports broadcast is tomorrow night when the Brush Bead Digger wrestling team is on the road against the Eaton Reds. Rob Hastings will have the call from Eaton again starting at 6:30 right here on 1010 as well as KSIR.com. The sound engineer and producer of Brush Bead Digger basketball tonight has been Rose Condas. For Ron Albo, I'm John Beltran. The final score from Brush as Holy Family improves to 5-2 with the Bead Diggers dropping to 3-3. Holy Family 61, Brush 52, right here on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com.